Now let's play his talk about what he says about tackle, and then we're gonna read the tweet that sent the world through an absolute tensy here. It's a good one.
I think those proved to be costly, so we've got to continue. If we want to have a good football team, we've got to be a really good tackling team. But the effort and the pursuit was good, and overall the film was really clean on all parts of the team. And I think that between play process, it's one thing to practice, it's another thing to play the game. I think special teams, our coverage units need to improve. But overall, man, really good day. We did have one injury of note,
which we talked about. But look, overall, good day, like he said. So what sent this whole tackling thing into a whole just out of this world was Nick Marcinko tweeted Napier. He just tweeted what Napier said, simply just reporting the news. Missed 20 tackles and 122 snaps. Says the missed tackles are very correctable. So Cody, I'm calling Cody out because he started the fire in the Discord. And I was like, okay, hold on. Let's take in like 20 tackles. Let's take in consideration of 122 snaps. That's about 16% of the snaps. This is equivalent to 2 games, mind you. 122 snaps is the equivalent to 2 games. I looked up the average missed tackles last year in college football is 15%. So for 2 games, we were just above the average of missed tackles. What also isn't taken into consideration, like we were talking before the show, is there's third string, there's second. Like, we don't know who missed these tackles. We don't know, like you were saying, the alignment. Maybe it was forced to be. The odds of a missed tackle increase greatly, right? Like, it's not like he was just running and they just slipped off of him. Kind of like there's so many missed details.
We seen Trey Wilson do this super amazing spin move. That was a missed tackle. I mean,
we saw 2. We saw one with Trey on and one with Eugene. Like, okay, I'm cool with those 2. Like, that's fine. So let's call 18 out of 122.
Knock those 2 off the board. I mean.
So he even said, look, it's 20 missed tackles and 122 snaps, which is 2 full games worth. 10 missed tackles a game is not a bad starting point for the scrimmage in fall camp. That's what about Florida averaged last season. The Gators had 6 games with more than 10 missed tackles last season, including highs of 15 and 17 for a single game, which, again, this snap count is for 2 games total. We also don't know whether missed tackles came from the first, second, or third team. So there's a lot of details there that we obviously do not know. And again, I don't think Billy said it in a sense of a fear. I think he kind of sent it in a... This show is sponsored by BetterHelp, and this year has gone by so quickly. What's something you're proud of in 2024? What is something that you still want to accomplish for the remainder of the year? I know it's going by so fast, but we still have time to go after your goals and knock those bad boys out. When life goes at you fast, it's important to take a moment to celebrate your wins, but also reflect on your losses. Therapy can help you take stock of your progress and set achievable goals for the remainder of the year. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. Use the link in the description, betterhelp.com, and use the code Hightop to get 10% off your first month. What's fantastic about it is convenient, it's flexible, and it's suitable to your schedule. You take a little bit of a quiz. What that quiz is, it suits you up with a therapist that best suits you. Now, for any reason that therapist isn't kind of really the best thing for you, you can switch it, no cost at all. It's fantastic. And look, the best thing is it's all online. Hardest part about therapy is always finding time to go do it to make it happen, but there's no excuse. Right online, you go with your schedule. It's flexible. It's important to talk to somebody, especially if you're having some doubts of yourself, or again, you want to set those goals. So be sure to check out the link in the description, betterhelp.com, and of course, use the code Hightop to get 10% off. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Hightop. We'll see you.
One missed tackle is too much for a coach. We should be making every tackle. And so he's just addressing the fact that we missed a few tackles. Tackling was poor last year, and so he's going to talk about it. And it should be we should always be talking about missed tackles. We should never want any missed tackles. So I just think he's just addressing it and making sure it's in the forefront of everybody's mind that we will tackle better this year. And it won't be a practice that is not addressed. We're talking about it before practice and after practice. And in between practice, how many tackles we already missed. So, and I believe in the middle of the scrimmage, he probably like, hey, we got 5 missed tackles. You know what I mean? Letting them know where we're at on the tally. And I think that would be smart to do that every practice.
Rob S says it's the first scrimmage, and it is, right? I think at work we where I work, we're a sales company. We have to try to explain to people and help them put them into a better situation. And sometimes you can over-explain to where it hurts you, to where you say so much that you put the other person into a blender. And I feel like in this world of information, and sometimes we as fans may get a little bit too much information that we put ourselves into a blender. But we also want to know what's going on, right? We like to know what's happening. We like to be able to tell lies and talk about it. So you've got to be able to manage this do-si-do. Look, I always get labeled with Sunshine Pumper for whatever reason. I don't know why. But it's just you have to carry with this with a certain perspective. It's very easy to look at this and just basically have a cloud over you. It's like the sad character from the Disney movie, right? Like everything is just miserable. Like, sorry. Like that's how some of these Gator fans act with this. It's like, dude, not everything is meant to be horrendous news. It's
you
a
gotta
starting
think about
point.
it. Like what if we, like you said, if we tackled everybody, we say, man, we can't break tackles. Sometimes you got to give credit to the other side. I just hope we're just that great that we're able to break 10 tackles. But on anybody else, we breaking 10 necks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it lands on the other side. And look, not the rest of the teams don't have the incredible wide receiver core, running back core like we do. So they're going up against the best of the best. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Dave even says our top 4 missed tackle leaders have all transferred. So we've got that going for us. We're already ahead of the game from last year.
We're just that good on the offense.